How's it going today, y'all? Von Clovis back again. I got a few lightsabers out in front of me today. I'm gonna do a kind of like maybe a review or maybe even a comparison type video today on the Electrum Diadium 3 core saber. This one here I did not have installed by Saberforge. I had installed by a different installer. Sith Lord Sabers, amazing install. CFX. Shane Moore is the gentleman that installed this saber for me. And this one here is going to be the Profi Board saber installed by Crimson Dawn. Well, not installed by Crimson Dawn. They get them, I guess, from LGT Sabers, and then the secondhand sell them, I guess. Still epic price for that Profi saber I got. I got it for cheaper. It was originally the Banshee, but I bought a bunch more sabers and was able to switch out the core into a different saber. So right now this one is the part of the Centurion up here, with is the pommel, not the pommel, the emitter Centurion, Regent, I believe it is the midsection grip there, and then the pommel here is also from the Reaver and Centurion. So yeah, gonna kind of show off how all these sabers sound with all of their electronics active. All of these sabers are also NeoPixel. The only one though, this one here in the middle, it has NeoPixel lights in there, so that way I don't have to have a NeoPixel blade plug. It has pixel lights on in there, so I could light up any kind of blade plug that I have. Then it has, of course, the pixel connectors, little prongs in there as well. So let's go ahead and activate the Electrum Saber. So this is what this saber sounds like with their smooth swing, I guess they're saying. It's really good in my opinion. Let's wait for the activation. There we go. Of course, I could change the colors of this saber. Of course, you wouldn't be shaking it like that when you're wielding the saber, but kind of just to show you how reactive the smooth swing is and sounds. Is pretty nice. I don't think... Yeah, I don't have the flash on clash on there really high. If you set the flash on clash setting real high on the phone app, the Electrum Unity app, it will flash on clash every time you kind of just tap it little by little. But I have it set real low, I think, so that way it doesn't do that. Now with this saber, right off the bat, you do not have to get into their diadium, their app to affect their diadium core. What's nice about it is it gives you right on-hand activation. You just kind of hold the middle button down, and it lets you, make the volume louder or quieter. Hold it down. When you touch the middle again, it'll change the sound. On this one, you could hold up to, I think, 50 sound fonts, but you gotta make sure they are optimized for this saber. It can't be the CFX or Profi version. It has to be optimized for this saber for it to work. You can save your profiles, definitely change the blade. What's nice about it, Could change color on the fly by clicking the down, well, not clicking it, but hovering over it, because it being a Electrum, they're all touch. All their buttons are touch, which is real cool. Change the color, change the way the pixels will work, which is real cool. So that CFX, not CFX, excuse me, Diadium 3 core sounds real good with the smooth swing. That one's real awesome. One of my favorite sabers. That one is the Electrum Sabercraft Evo Flex saber. That one is going to be inspired by a little bit of Darth Vader hilt, and then a lot of Starkiller. A lot of Starkiller in this hilt, but this bottom piece kind of looks almost like a bit of Darth Vader or even Anakin, just a bit with these the way the grip looks, which is real cool. Alright, so this one here is the CFX core. This one was installed by Sith Lord Sabers. I purchased it empty. It was real cheap empty. Most expensive part was the electronics on the inside. But what's cool, like I said in my last video about this saber, all I have to do is keep buying saberforge shells that are similar to this one. That way the buttons will match up, and I could just take out my fully removable chassis system and shove it in there, and it should work pretty great. Now this one,
do I have to kill you to get you to stop talking?
I'm not too sure how many fonts I could have on this saber, but this saber has quite a few already, about 20 of them. Really epic. Also can change the color on the fly, which I finally was able to message Sith Lord Sabers and figure that out, because I kept, I guess, not doing it the right way. So on this one, when it's active, you gotta press both buttons down. It'll say Spectrum, and that is when you start turning for the color. Let's see if you could kind of hear the twist sound. That's real cool. The dial color change. And that'll lock in your color. This one's real awesome. With the CFX, you have to be a little bit more, I guess, subtle with how you're going to swing the saber. Because if you just do that with it, for some reason, it's not as much as the Electrum Saber. The Electrum Saber definitely was able to pick up every little kind of motion I did with it. With this one, I find I have to be a little bit more quick and almost rough with it even. Not so much rough, but a little bit more quick with my movements for it to pick up the motion. It won't just pick it up if I'm moving gently. I have to be a little bit more rough with it. But still, this CFX install is probably one of my favorites that I have. Sabers that I have. The only CFX install that I do have at the moment. Let me show you. Let's see this real quick. Let me pop this thing out. Let me show you just how cool this thing is. Do that. Set this. So this is the fully removable chassis system that I do have in my Ares Sith Lord Sabers. I believe that is a 28mm bass speaker. That's the activation. Okay, so it is a little bit more reactive when I have it out of there. I guess I do have to have that in my hand and actually have a blade in there swinging it around real nice for it to sound good. It won't just pick it up when I'm moving softly. Absolutely cool. And see, I have the NeoPixel connectors there, little pixels there, pixel things. And then I also have the NeoPixel light. That way I could light up a regular blade plug. It doesn't have to be a NeoPixel blade plug, which is real cool. One of my favorite sabers, especially because of this chassis system. I'm definitely looking into send out another saber off to him to get installed, because he does such an amazing job with it. Gotta line it up. That's the only thing. With the fully removable chassis, I do have to, chassis system, I do have to make sure that the little buttons there line up. That way the plungers will be able to click them and activate the saber properly. It's not too bad. Definitely not too bad at all. I did talk with him. He said he's going to be looking into making better plungers soon. Right now they're just they're little plastic bits with a spring in there. I wouldn't mind for those to be metal, little buttons, or a glass bubble with some kind of LED in there, glass eye. That would be epic. So that is a CFX. All of these sabers are all smooth swing compatible. They all will react to every movement that you're doing with your sabers, which is awesome. Now this one was the cheapest of the two. This one I got when it was on special for $199. When they first started dropping their Profi board sabers. And so I've been buying a lot of sabers from Crimson Dawn, just so that way I could edit my Profi board, the aesthetics of it mainly, because this is also one of my favorite sabers ever. What's nice about this one, it picks up the simplest, smoothest of swings. This one is one of my favorites. It's loud. The flash on clash, it works absolutely epic. Any little movement hit, it sounds. What's nice about this one as well, it has different kinds of functions. Also, it has one of my favorite features is the playbacks. The playbacks on the Profi board are one of my absolute favorite features, especially because you can have the playback sounding while you're gonna have the saber active. I'm more than sure I could probably do that with the CFX, but as of right now, I don't have that capability because I'm not able to hook it up to a computer. Don't have a computer myself to activate those kinds of functions with it. I'm not too sure if you actually can. But as far as the three are, I gotta say, as far as functionality, features, the whole nine, I gotta say my Profi from Crimson Dawn is probably one of my favorite lightsabers that I have to spin around. It definitely feels the best in hand. There's nothing in the way of my fingers. I could grip it in absolutely any any part of the saber, and nothing get in my way. The grip not feel uncomfortable, as whereas with the Electrum, there's these here. You gotta think about when you're touching it. Any little touch, you're gonna accidentally deactivate your saber, activate your saber, press things that you're not supposed to. So it's kind of hard to figure out where you want to place your hand in this saber. I find that I'll grip it like this the most, with my fingers on the bunny ears. But then I have all that other saber that just feels a little bit different, feels funny. As whereas here, I got a nice place to grip it pretty much anywhere around the saber and make it for it to feel nice. What's also cool with this saber, I feel like changing color is probably the easiest, because you would have to hold down the auxiliary button and just click it. It'll change on its own. Auxiliary button for your blaster deflect. Probably the easiest, most functionality one is my Profi Saber. I don't have to do much to it for it to be what I want it to be. I don't have to get into any kind of functions in there. Not really. I didn't have to really learn much to start using it. It kind of just started coming to me, and using itself. Once I activated it, all the other features just kind of started working themselves out, and I was able to learn it real easy, real user friendly. The only thing I hear about the Profi is that it's hard to edit on the computer. That wasn't the same for the CFX. It was a bit of a learning curve. I guess you could say I was used to these two sabers before I got the CFX, so it was a bit tough to learn. I couldn't save the colors properly, which was a bit frustrating, but after I got the colors to save and everything to save properly, man, if it's one of the coolest sabers ever, especially with it, when you activate it and use the blaster deflect, it'll light up randomly, not in just one spot. I believe the CFX and my Profi board, both of these sabers, they have the drag function, so I could stab it into a wall and it'll look like it's melting it and pull it along, real cool. As far as price goes, I'm not too sure if you could actually say these sabers are all in the same price range. The CFX, from what I paid for the saber and the install, it was a bit cheaper than buying my Electrum Saber altogether. My Electrum Saber, I paid about $450 with delivery and everything. And the saber from this saber here that I got installed, I got this one, the empty hilt, for $75, and then did the install for $325. So I guess, yeah, these two are about the same price, $400 sabers. This one has more fun, really good functionality. This one has an app that connects to it Bluetoothly, so that way you can function with it. This one you'd have to just connect to a computer to be able to mess with the functionalities. Same with this one. You can't get the board out though, so it's just gonna have to stay as is. This one for sure was by far the cheapest. Right now, Crimson Dawn is selling their Profi board Banshees for $225 or something like that pre-tax, free shipping, stuff like that. Um, so they're a little bit more than what I paid for mine. I paid $199 for mine. Definitely not too bad. I heavily recommend pretty much any of these sabers. I'd recommend if you're gonna go with a saberforge, if you do want the electronics to come with them, by all means buy it. But my best bet, the electronics are the most expensive part. So buy the saber empty. It comes with a blade plug, comes with a cool CoverTech wheel. You could add a CoverTech bout clip. Buy it empty, save yourself some money, send it out to get installed. Once you get it installed with a fully removable chassis system, you just got to buy shells from Saberforge that are similar to the saber that you get, and you should be able to take your chassis system out, shove it right in there, and every one of your sabers have electronics that just won't all at the same time. Especially because you're not going to swing 2-3 of them at once. You're swinging one at a time. So it's probably more cost effective to just buy the fully removable chassis system and the shells separately. Just one of my one of my things that I do, which is real cool. Yeah, this definitely was one of my longer videos for sure. Thank you guys for staying and watching the comparison video between the 3 sabers. All smooth swing, great sabers. Definitely crash the like and subscribe button. Von Clovis signing off, y'all. And definitely Happy New Year.